What up, YouTube? Bigger is not always better. It's your boys, Detroit Love, P-Dubs, Arcade Love, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes Friday night just got live.
Well, they say good things come in small packages. And if there's one good thing that usually gets delivered to my house several times of the year, it's a New Wave Toys mini arcade machine or Replicade. And tonight we're going to talk all about this adorable little company. And who better to bring on to talk about it than Shilo from New Wave Toys. What's up, Shilo? How are you, man?
I'm doing really good, guys. Thanks for having me on your YouTube show. I just want to say one thing. My YouTube name is Shilo DP Arcade Junkie.
Make sure you give him a thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, but you can't do that now. What does the DP stand for?
I didn't want to, I was really inspired by all your names and stuff. And I wanted to fit in, but I didn't want to rip you off too bad, Michael B. And Shilo DP sounds the same. So I threw in my middle name, Dean DP.
Okay.
Doesn't mean anything dirty or anything like that.
Yeah.
Keep them guessing.
Well, Shilo is our guest of honor tonight. He's going to be star of the show tonight, but that doesn't mean he's the only star shining bright this Friday evening. That's right. With us, as always, our Detroit Love, Michael B. the Game Genie. I'm P-Dubs. You're watching the Super Game Room Dudes. Nostalgia's having a poop, and he's back.
That was a quick one, buddy.
Sorry, my dog was freaking out.
Yeah, sure.
You let the dogs out.
That's okay.
All right.
That's why I'm sweating.
All right. So we got a lot. We want to talk with New Wave Toys, Shilo, here about. We got a number of questions that each of us have come up with about things we're interested in about the company, where they've been, where they've come from, where they plan on going. As well as I fully expect this show to go off the rails because these kind of interviews always go off the rails, as well as I want to try and address your guys' questions as well. I've already seen a ton of great questions in live chat. We'll do our best to find some and get to some. We're not going to be able to get to them all, but we'll do our best. And the big surprise here is Shilo messaged us right before the show, Shilo. And what's the big surprise for tonight? I think we're doing a bunch of giveaways or something.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're giving away a ton of stuff tonight. We got some trivia questions, and right answer wins a prize.
Yeah. So we got a number of prizes. New Wave Toys prizes, and they're good ones, and we're going to try and spread them throughout the show. So if you thought we'd do the giveaway and then you could skedaddle, guess what? You're just going to have to stick around for the full hour. You have no choice. We have you handcuffed to your seat. Grab the French fries, grab a cold beverage. In fact, you could probably grab a cold beverage out of a Coke machine made by New Wave Toys. Isn't that right, everybody?
Probably could. I want to say one thing first off.
Sure.
Coke machines, I want to thank everybody. We launched them on Wednesday, and it's just been phenomenal, the response. Thank you to all you guys for your honest reviews. And thanks for everybody who's supported us and bought one. I really appreciate it. It's a pretty neat little product, and I think a lot of people were a little confused to buy it at first, and but it's finally caught on, and everybody gets it, and everybody understands it's a mini fridge and the vending function and all that kind of stuff. So we're really, really pleased with the launch.
So, Shilo, real quick, when you guys have products come out, you guys put them up for pre-order. Pre-orders usually get filled, and usually when pre-orders get filled, that's when you see a whole bunch of YouTube reviews and magazine reviews and web article reviews come out. But then how do you determine, you guys usually have enough ready for general public after the fact, right? And so these went on sale, and you're saying they're selling very well. People are excited about these?
Oh yeah, I feel like we really gapped between the time that we filled our pre-order to everybody who pre-ordered. Thank you for that too. and waiting, and just gave it a little bit of time because we're working on so many different projects right now. We're like, let's just give it some time. And then we got the review samples out to everybody. We're getting all the reviews in. We're like, this is a good time to drop this product. It was right after the Cleveland Gaming Show. A lot of people were excited about it there too. And so we're like, this is the right time. And, just as a business, we also have other things we're trying to do. We're trying to get, I'm sorry, I got to take these stupid headphones off.
Yeah, man, get rid of them. The hell with that.
They're not even plugged in, honestly.
No, he's just trying to look cool.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look cool. But hey, check this out.
You got the hat on?
I'm trying to fit in, man.
You guys have no. Okay, wait, hold on.
It's joined here.
Mike-
The hat is in the area still in here.
You guys, Michael B, the king of disclaimers. We never did our disclaimers about New Wave toys.
Let's get disclaimer out of the way.
Yeah.
We did tequila shots with Shilo in Cleveland. Disclaimer.
I guess we have to give disclaimers when you do shows like this. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know who Shilo is, and he's a party animal. There's your disclaimer.
Awesome, yeah.
And he's hilarious. I love the fact that you just had a fake headset on. That was epic. Just to fit in. He's even wearing the baseball hat, guys, just to fit in.
And it's Stranger Things, man.
So I got a bit of a serious question here. One of the things that I really liked about your Coke mini fridge is I'm actually just a huge Coca-Cola fan, and in general, like I've been to the, I guess it's called the museum, the World of Coke in Atlanta, Georgia, seen all that stuff. I love Coca-Cola classic collectibles. So do you think you tapped into a market there with, like, there's all these Coke collectors? They would love to have a vending machine, but I mean, it's not practical for everybody, but maybe a replica one is something they would definitely like to add to their collection.
Yeah, that's a really great point. So 2 things on that. Number one, I mean, as a company, we always need to be trying new things to get new people. So as you said, somebody who's a massive Coke collector and just has a super nostalgia for Coke, they might not give 2 shits about an arcade machine, right?
Oh.
But all of a sudden, you make a product that resonates with them. And on top of that, I feel like we did 2 key things with it. A, we did something out of an era that's untouched with Coke, all right?
Yep.
The mid to late 80s. Everything you see is like the old 60s style or getting a little bit into the 70s style. And I'm like, no, man, I mean, we're more into the 80s is kind of our sweet spot. 80s is the sweet spot, really. And it was like, okay, well, how can we even expand on this more? And it's like, well, tell the story of what happened there in the mid 80s, right? What happened? Coke either pulled a genius thing or the most ridiculous stunt there trying to launch new Coke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I want to hear what everybody thinks. Was it genius or was it absolutely the worst decision ever? Because I will say this, they ended up getting more publicity over that than they could ever have imagined, or it definitely covered like any losses they might have had that it wasn't popular. But it's viewed as just like the worst thing ever. But honestly, I mean, what did it take? 2 months later, they re-released Coca-Cola, rebranded as Coca-Cola Classic, and completely took over the whole category again from Pepsi, because Pepsi was kind of coming up at that time.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
it definitely was an interesting time. I was always been a big fan of Coke. I have a few Coca-Cola replicas. I still aren't convinced that it's the original Coca-Cola. But they had to do something to fight off the fights that were coming with the new Coke. But calling it Coca-Cola Classic, that's actually a different name and a different product. So it's a little trickery in there from them, but it worked and it was effective. So
it worked.
Does anybody know why they actually did it?
Well, I'm
Well,
sure it had to do with
they
the
thought
Coke.
they needed to. I mean, the real story is they thought they needed to do it because Pepsi was kicking their ass.
At
the first time.
retail, you mean?
They had the whole Pepsi challenge, and they were spending way more on marketing. It seemed like. I mean, remember like Michael Jackson.
We talked about that last week. They tried to kill Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson came out.
You guys are funny.
Coke's like, fuck this, man. We got to do something. Do Coke.
Do we kill LaToya Jackson? No. New Coke.
Oh man, good stuff. Good stuff. So Coke was probably your first what do you call it? Vending machine. And now we have
Well,
the go ahead.
I have to cut you off because technically, I mean, would you call a change machine a vending machine?
Yeah,
So I
That's
mean,
true. Yeah, your USB charging coin changers. Yeah, I guess
Did
you
it-
could call that a vending machine.
Did it say vending on the box though? Unless you officially branded it vending, we're right.
you know what? We might not have, so forget it.
Ah,
Yeah.
So
You know-
now, are you able to talk about like the numbers? Is new Coke beating out classic Coke in the pre-order?
Yeah. Which one's selling
Okay,
more?
Let me say one thing, one little tidbit here, and that is, I mean, I was so excited about new Coke. I'm like, you know, Stranger Things actually had new Coke in it. Honestly, yeah, and I was like, man, there's something there. Why don't we do a product with it? And when we asked Coke about the new Coke license, they were just like, why would you want that? You know, I mean, that's basically what it was. And then all of a sudden they saw our product concept and stuff, and they're just like, all right, well, everybody was like, this is the craziest thing. We love it, you know?
Yeah.
And in fact, I believe it's probably still the only licensed new Coke product that's out there today.
you literally blew the dust off that license.
just killed it, man. And to answer your question, though, I mean, Coca-Cola Classic's absolutely killing it in sales. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah, and who
Well,
wouldn't,
you know
who
what?
wouldn't want one of these things on their desk? I mean, these things. I mean, just to be a fridge to be handy and actually get to the cold temperature as quickly as it does, to have that actual vending function is just sweet. And those little metal cans actually come out cool, like they're nice and cold. You want to just crack one open. I mean, it's just an awesome product. And my wife, she doesn't care about any of these type of things, but she comes by, she'll put her Coke Zero in there, and she'll push that button and have one disperse just for the hell of it, you know. So it's
I
definitely
love
a fan
that.
favorite around here.
I just love that. I love hearing stuff like that. It makes all the grind of making this thing worthwhile, honestly. And you know, it really does. I love that. Especially somebody who's not usually interested in what we're doing, or like you're saying, Carl, you know, it's like that's meaningful. And that means that we did a good job trying to, like, you know, we got to grab buckets of people. We got to keep growing, you know. I mean, that's just the reality of a small business. If you're not doing that, I mean, you're shrinking, basically, right?
Oh, don't get nostalgia started.
Oh, and all I gotta say is I don't know what we would do without our COO nostalgia.
I'm taking over the world,
Hey,
guys.
be careful. He's going to add that to his resume.
He will actually. He legit
It's
will.
going to be attached to my LinkedIn profile in about 6
one time
hours.
bumped into the chief technology officer of Microsoft in a Wendy's, just, you know, as they were going in and out of the restaurant, and he added that to his resume. He's a contractor with Wendy's, so you got to be
Honestly,
careful with this.
Not
if anybody wants resume advice, just go to Nostalgia, because apparently Nostalgia is like the czar of everything. Like anything he's ever done, like he's talked to Microsoft once, it's on his resume. He's the guy. He's the guy to put you there.
Well, Shilo, let me ask you this question, which ties into this great super chat from Zero Sleep, $5. He says he's happy with his Coke order, but someday he would like a special edition Jolt Cola model. Remember Jolt Cola from back in the day?
Oh, absolutely.
So here comes those questions that you might not be able to answer. Will we see Jolt Cola or any other colas based upon the success of this Coke machine? Will there be more?
I will say there's going to definitely be more, because it's something now that we can continue on. And back to my point about new stuff, it's also not just new stuff, new lines, right? Stuff that can continue and grow and continue to build the company. So yeah, absolutely. And I love the Jolt Cola. That is, you know, do you guys all remember Jolt Cola? I mean, I don't know if it's esoteric, but I mean, I love that idea. That's one that me and the boys have kicked around too. I mean, we're like, do we really want to pay all this money to Coke? Or, you know, there's Jolt, there's RC, there's all these other kind of
RC.
I'm so glad you mentioned Royal Crown.
Is that was in the States too, right? Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, RC Cola was in the
Okay.
States too.
Here's a good look for you at Jolt Cola. Let's take a look at this old marketing flyer. Hang on. Oh, I got to get all these comments off the screen. No more comments. I'm trying to get the screen minimized. There we go. Join the Jolt Revolt. All the sugar and twice the caffeine. Look at that right there. All the sugar and twice the caffeine, and get more of what you drink a cola for. So there you go.
It's beautiful.
Pretty cool.
Man, you got to hand it to them. They were way ahead of Red Bull.
Yeah,
they were.
Yeah.
They were.
They just yeah.
Go ahead.
We are caffeine. We are sugar. We'll get you ripped there for about 10 minutes, and then you're fucked.
All right, good stuff.
Then it's nap time, right? When all that sugar, glucose, and all that stuff wears out.
All right, guys. Michael B., why don't you take over? Ask Mr. Shilo a question or two, because, guys, I'm going to get our first giveaway ready. So fastest fingers
all
wins.
Right.
So, Mike, take it away while I get this set up.
Shilo, we got some super chats here that I want to read because they're really nice comments, and I think you should hear them. So we've got one here from Sonic Fun, $10. Shilo, New Wave Toys laser focused on the smallest details and attention to premium materials and construction is a true testament to your love of arcade cabinets and respect for your customers. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sonic Fun. And
very well written.
Geez, Sonic Fun, I think you just won the next trivia question without answering it. I mean, that's super nice, and it's really, I mean, everybody knows it's nice to get acknowledgement for the things you fucking grind over and that you feel are important, right? So keep them coming, super chats. Let's hear.
Yeah, we got another one here. $5 from our buddy Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. What's two dudes in Shilo? I don't know what that means. What's up?
I think he was trying to type "What's up, dudes."
Yeah. Please give us a Capcom Big Blue
don't
cabinet.
Take the DP thing too fucking far here.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. Capcom Big Blue. That'd be an interesting one for you guys to do. But you've already done Street Fighter, so it would have to probably be something else.
Well, I gotta say, I completely agree. And in hindsight, I wish we would have done Big Blue instead of the HS1.
I don't know. Both of them are winners, man.
You think? Because
absolutely.
Because of the scale, we could have fit both control, player 1 and player 2, because it's such a bigger cab.
Yeah.
That I would have really liked to have that. So, Big Blue is great for like 1/6 scale. I admit.
Definitely. And I got a question around that. You know, in today's era, it's always about bigger and better, adding new features. How do you think why do you think that you've been successful in getting people to ignore all that and get something that's nostalgic and smaller in 1/6 scale?
Well, I think it's in what you said in your question, is that we're always trying to put in new features. And it's like everything that you've seen, like especially this year that's come out, right? All right, we took a stab at the CRT, didn't work out too good there on Missile Command, right? A lot of people didn't like it. We went back to the drawing board, we fixed that up. We got coin-op action now added, and to me that is just something we've always wanted to do. And it was like we were almost there. We're like, how do we do this? Well, let's put in little coins. At least you could put them up on the marquee or the bezel as next game kind of prop type thing. And then people were like, well, why can't I put them in register a coin? It's like, oh man, all right, that's on the feature list. And you know, it finally kind of got there, and it's really a simple design, honestly, that we patented, by the way. So
awesome. And you knocked it out the
patent pending.
You knocked it out the park with that Coca-Cola. I mean, my big pause is to get that quarter in there is challenging, but when it does, it works. I mean, that's pretty amazing for that scale size.
So I'm sorry, I just want to answer the question. Is like that's how. I mean, it was by doing everything we possibly freaking can. Now with Berserk and Frenzy, I'm like, all right. I love the comment on materials, because that's super important too. Get the materials right? If it's a coin door, it should be metal, if you ask me. I mean, coin doors are metal, and it looks proper and it feels proper when you open it, right? The other thing with Berserk and Frenzy is, okay, well, now you take one step further, and it's like Stern actually used metal control panels, and they're gorgeous. So it's like, yeah, damn right, we're gonna do this in zinc, right, and make it look proper. And then it's like, all right, well, what else can we do? Well, Stern had a pretty neat thing with the board drawer with the front access, right? So I mean, this kind of stems from Dragon's Lair, where we put in the replica Laserdisc players, right? It's like, well, what's making the brains? What else is there inside here? And it's like, well, in this case, it's a PCB board that pulls out of a board drawer, and we actually did our best to replicate, that actual PCB board as far as power supply, all the different components that are included on there. So that's my answer.
Awesome.
It's a fantastic answer.
And I'm sticking to it.
So I will tell you, when I got the Coke machine, I was like, and I saw the big tweezers, I was like, I'm never going to use these things. And immediately I realized I had to use them because of my grubby hands.
Yeah. Did we do this super chat real quick?
We're getting to it now. Yeah. Give us a 1/6 scale cocktail table and a Pizza Hut booth. Take my money.
Love it.
It's everything.
You know what's so funny is I got asked this a couple times, especially at Cleveland. Besides that, I try to like hide under a rock, but it's like, where's cocktail tables? Where's cockpits? And it's like, well, shit, man. You go back a few years for Missile Command launch. We actually made prototypes of a cocktail table and in the environmental unit.
Wow.
And nobody gave a shit back then, but that was a couple years ago, and we've really changed a lot. So I think it might be time to take another look at cocktail tables.
Before we move forward, that's the other thing I wanted to say about Street Fighter. You got to remember, you have so many new fans now that weren't around when you originally released your Street Fighter.
Yes.
It's very hard to get Street Fighter. So a re-release in the Big Blue might be something pretty hot.
I think that would be the only way to do it, because we don't want to kill those original values of those products.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is super important, that everybody now has something very valuable, and it's something for every project. We don't want you to buy it and then have to garage sale it the next, once you get bored of it or whatever and lose a bunch of money. You're never going to fucking lose money, man. Our stuff goes up because, there's a demand beyond as we keep growing.
Yeah.
And I'd hate to take that away from, especially, the people that came in early for Centipede or for Tempest. Like, those were our lifeline. And we still have retained like 75-80% of those people, which is amazing.
As customers that keep coming back for more.
Right, to this day.
But can I ask you a question then? So if you guys really don't want to do re-releases of machines you've done before because you don't want to devalue the collector of these collectibles, why was Dragon's Lair brought back, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, well, Dragon's Lair is a little bit different because we had a feature. Dragon's Lair, first of all, was very challenging, and it took a while because we thought about it. We're like, you know what? You could put an iPod Nano in there, and that could maybe be the second screen, or maybe
bring your own phone.
You could put that in there, an old LCD screen, maybe that'll work. I'm like completely kidding, as you guys know, right? But in actuality, getting that mini scoreboard to work was not trivial. It's very challenging in our scale, and getting the Daphne emulator, if any of you guys have worked with it, is a fucking pain in the ass. And we take a lot of care and pride in the actual ROM performance. So audio matches up with video, stuff like that. And the gameplay is proper. And in fact, and I'll get back to your question, but in fact, with Dragon's Lair, it was like we had to find an expert. His name's Dave, and I'm still thanking him to this day for helping us. He helped with Space Ace too, and this guy just knew everything. So it was like, if there was something wrong when you're playing it and it looks like a glitch or it looks like something's going on, that actually happened in the game. You know what I mean? Like, that's how deep we get into it. And we wanted to make sure the game was running properly and all this stuff, and we just had to cut out one feature. And because it took even longer to make, and it actually required a more expensive and more powerful processor, which is screen mirroring, right? Because we always want to do a spectator monitor. And I will tell you guys something, and this is the worst thing that came out of the Cleveland Gaming Show, is that I hand carried the spectator monitor because we wanted to show it and want to get it activated and get it to the people who want it. And it fucking broke. Like I took it out of my bag and it was like clunk, clunk, clunk. And I'm like, oh yeah. So we're checking it the next day and it was like, scrambled. And it was just like, So,
well, isn't it true that the whole distressed frenzy is because Eduardo there dropped one on the floor and you guys said, this would be a great idea. Let's just sell it.
Let's just go with it. Yeah.
Let's just sell it broken.
Just go with it.
That's exactly what happened. He's
actually,
really and dirty too.
Let me ask you this, and guys in the live chat, I want your feedback on this. This is a crazy idea, right? Okay, you've released Centipede, you've released Tempest and others a long time ago. It sounds to me like what you're saying is don't expect there to be re-releases of those exact machines. But what about this? Think about this like a real arcade, right? These machines have been out in your arcade for a couple of years, and by now they're all beat up. Why not release them as I saw Snotlips put it in the live chat? Distressed versions of Tempest. Distressed versions. You know what I mean? Like, would you guys go for that in the live chat? Let me know. Because honestly, I think that frenzy that's all beat up, I think that's
awesome.
probably one of the coolest things you've ever done. But let me know.
Okay, just get it right. We call it the Survivor series.
Yes, Survivor.
Yeah, we're waiting on the Starcade.
That way, people who have the originals that are in mint condition, just a normal looking one, can still feel special. And then all the newbies like myself who missed out on a couple of the originals, we can buy the ones that are broken.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It'd be great.
All right. I mean, you guys, I think that's a fair thing. It doesn't cannibalize the original, and let's hear it from everybody in the chat.
Yeah. And if you think about it, what arcade back then or even today don't have a couple of machines that just aren't going to work?
You should make them arcade authentic where they actually don't work. One of the buttons just doesn't work properly. One of the coin door buttons are
trackball on Centipede's broke.
Have it where you turn it on and it plays a totally different game. That would be
you have your little sign that you can put the out of order on it.
All right, so we got to get caught up with some super chats here. Chit for Brains, $10 super chat. Make one that holds a 12-pack so we don't have to hit the fridge while gaming. I think he's talking about the Coke fridge or beer fridge, maybe.
Saying it's too small. I get that all the time. Hey,
Nostalgia does too.
That's why we put in the tweezers for guys like us.
So exactly I didn't have time to put a poll in the chat, but what I can tell you from looking at the chat, Shilo, is it looks like there's about a 50-50 mix in the live chat. About half the people are saying they go for that. About half the people would like just the machines to be normal. Because
what if it was a cocktail table, like if it was Centipede, for instance?
Mini cocktail tables?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have sent you guys a picture of the Missile Command one, but it turned out I absolutely loved it. We even had like the layered side of the wood, like so sick, man. And I love cocktail tables, and so I mean, I'm hot on that. I love that.
Do you guys want cocktail tables? Let us know in the live chat. We're gonna fly through this. We're already 30 minutes in, so we're gonna do 2 giveaways in just a second. Twisted Gaming TV, $5. Really great quality products, hands down. Keep up the great work. Ready to receive Zoltar. We do want to talk about Zoltar here in a couple of minutes. Super chat, $20. Holy cow! From Nooner. New Wave Toys is his favorite retro gaming company. Looking forward to the future. Shilo, can you answer this quickly? Animatronics like Showbiz, Chuck E. Cheese coming? Or whatever you want to say, man. I mean, Zoltar's the first one, right?
I love it. It's got to be a line, right? We started with Zoltar. What's next?
Oh, okay. So there will
be
something,
baby.
I mean, something.
And I do love pizza, as you guys know.
Yeah. All right. No more super chats, everyone. We want to give to you. I appreciate you guys giving to us, but we want to give to you and get the show caught up. Go ahead, Marcuson.
$9.99. Have you considered how unavailable status of huge classics, Asteroids, Tempest, may discourage new collectors from starting their arcade collection? since they are lost without those. I guess that's a difficult balancing act because you want to reward your original people, but at the same time, you don't want to turn away new people. So it's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I mean, we just talked about a couple solutions there, or possibilities. So.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to do our first of two. We got a whole bunch of giveaways, but we're going to do two of them kind of back to back here. And this will also put a pin on our prior conversation we were having so we can move the show along. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to throw a trivia question out. You're going to see it live on the screen on the bottom. You're also going to see we have the live chat directly over there displayed on the screen. Fastest fingers wins. Whoever we see type the answer first, whatever that person pops in there, whoever pops in there is going to win the prize. So get your fingers ready. And I gave you guys in the behind the scenes chat the answer, so try and help me find it. Get ready, guys. Fastest fingers wins. What date? We want the month, day, and year. Did New Coke launch? What date? And whoever wins this is going to win a Coke mini fridge.
New Coke mini fridge.
New Coke mini fridge. You'll win a new Coke mini fridge. Let us know in the live chat, guys.
Free, including shipping, everything free, and we'll get you no matter where you are.
There you go.
Did we get one?
Yeah, we got one.
Jason.
Hold on. We got
our moderator, Jason Little Alien.
No, I thought Desmond came in before him.
Somebody was off by 2 days.
Desmond was off. He said the 25th. It's the 23rd.
Oh, Desmond was wrong.
It is Jason Little Alien.
Did you pull up his answer?
I'm
Jason?
trying.
It's too late. It's going by too quick.
Yeah, Jason Little Alien.
All right, Jason won. All right, there you go. Great.
Congrats,
now that our
Jason.
moderator won, they're going to say
somebody writing
it was
it
not
down?
rigged. It was not rigged. Jason, let someone else win the next one. I'll buy you a Coke machine. All right. So big congrats to Jason. All right, let's get that off the screen. Let's get all chats off the screen. 1 second. And okay, guys, now we're going to do our second. No more chats on the screen. Let's get that off of there so we can get the next giveaway up here. All right, guys. So again, fastest fingers wins. Here's the second one. And all right, this one's great. Hold on. Let me give the team the answers here. So it's interesting that Coca-Cola is pretty much sold across the entire globe, right? However, there are parts of the globe that do not sell Coca-Cola. So in order to win a standard Coke Replicade, name a country that does not sell Coca-Cola products. Whoever types it in the live chat first. There's multiple answers, which is why I need the team.
Chum Master.
You got it already?
Yep, Chum Master.
Clum Master? Where are you getting Chum Master from?
Clum Master.
You watching Jaws?
Hey, what do you want for $1?
Did he get it? Is he
yeah,
right?
Clum Master, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So some of the correct answers, guys, are Cuba, North Korea, and Russia do not sell Coca-Cola product. Any insight on that, Shilo, as to why? Do you know? Or is that just something random you looked up?
Honestly, Eduardo sent me that, and I was surprised. I'm like, I could just see people pounding Cokes in Cuba for some reason. I don't know why, but that's crazy, I think. That's pretty wild.
Well,
what do all three have in common, guys? Jeez,
Right,
this is not that hard.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's that.
Big brother move.
All right, guys, in order to make sure that you get your prizes, and don't worry, guys, we got more arcades, Replicades to give away, as well as something very, very special at the end of the show here. So stick around to the end. You guys don't want to miss it. It's awesome, the prize that they added at the end. Anyone who won, do me a favor. Oh, geez, we have all these curse word counters in here. If you want a prize, email me, pdubsarcadeloft@gmail.com. It's on the bottom there on the ticker. Take your screenshots now. So Clubmaster, Jason, send me an email. I need your full name, address, all that stuff, so I can forward it to New Wave Toys, and they'll get your products shipped out. So go ahead and send that to me, and I'll flip it to you, Shilo, after I verify they are the winner. I've actually had it in the past where people claim to be a winner on a live stream and they weren't the winner. And I had to, I was like, no, you're not the winner, because I know the winner and his name was Bob. It wasn't you. You know what I mean? So
fucking people always trying to pull a scam.
Yeah, always try to pull scams. All
You
right, guys.
scammers out there, stay away.
Yep. So
All
I'll
right, so-
verify it's the right guy. Go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
Shilo, why P-Dubs get the next thing going? I just got a question here. So with such a diverse range of products from charging machines, mini fridge, classic arcade games, how do you decide what to create next, and what inspires your product selection?
That is such a good question. I love it.
Oh, that's a great
Right out
question.
of Chat GPT.
I think
Right.
one. Hold on, where's my Chat GP?
It's
Honestly,
that was a Chat GPT question, wasn't it?
Let the man answer.
All right, go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
not that smart, man. Fucking ask me an easier question. No.
Oh, you definitely know. We talked about this over a drink.
Well, okay, let me
You
see.
gotta have a drink and then you got the answer because we talked about this.
Yeah, give me some drinks and I'm smart as a whip. Hey, you know the old cliche, play hard and fucking work hard or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah, thanks. No, honestly, it all sort of stems into one thing, and that was a simpler time. And I mean, you'll notice one thing, everything fits into a certain time area. And that goes to every aspect of pop culture in that time. And I believe it all centralizes and comes from arcades and arcade life and the way we were living when we were living through this time, this very special time. That although there's now arcades and stuff like it's very cool and everything, but it ain't the same. Right?
Yeah,
It was like
it's
you had to
definitely
go
not the
through it
same.
every time.
I mean, these guys are online and they don't see people and they're chatting through this thing. I mean, to be in that arcade with your friends, shooting to get that high score, seeing the guy that's kicking everybody's butt on the fighting games and hoping you can get your skills together to come in and beat them in front of everybody else. I mean, you really can't compare today's gaming to that arcade feeling of that time, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And not just that, it's like, how did we get there? How did we know to meet all our friends? I mean, we were calling each other at our parents' houses.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, hey, is P-Dubs there? Who's this? Hey, it's Shilo. Hey, Shilo, what's your story? And it's like you end up like talking to a parent forever before you can actually talk to your friend. But we all managed to figure it out. It's like, well, how did we get there? I mean, for me personally, you're either walking, you're either riding your BMX bike, you're skateboarding, you're taking the bus, right? I mean, those were like kind of the four things. So it's like, well, BMX fits in really, really nicely with all this because, again, most guys in my age group were in arcades, were also into BMX, right?
Yeah.
And it all stems from there. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, growing up as a kid in the 80s, like BMX was everything. Like we called bikes BMX. We didn't have bicycles, we had BMXs, right?
Right. And it was the first time. And for me, I and this is the same with everything pretty much with me. It was like I had one of those, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a super heavy, and this is actually, kind of later 70s when BMX was just starting in SoCal, right? I mean, that's when like it all started here. It's a whole nother reason why I love SoCal, but we'll get into that later. But I was riding enough. I don't know if you guys remember these, but they looked like motocross bikes and they actually had little plastic gas tanks on them. Does anybody remember these?
You're talking about mopeds?
No. It was a bicycle. It was a bicycle, but it had like moto handlebars. It had shocks in the front. It had rear shocks in the back. I'm older than you boys. And it had a plastic gas tank. All right. Somebody in the chat's got to freaking know what I'm talking about.
I don't remember that, but I mean, the only plastic thing I have on my bike, that plastic thing was my water bottle, man.
Nah, these
water bottle was.
tanks. But anyways, my whole point is, all of a sudden you're riding this big heavy bike, and the fucking pedals are all crooked and making tons of noise, and you beat the shit out of it, and you fall over, and it like weighs 80 pounds, so it's almost killing you. And then all of a sudden, one day, I saw like Kuahara BMXs at this bike shop, and they were all lined up. And there was a black and gold one, and there was a fucking chrome and blue one. And I was just blown away. I'm like, what is this? It was this whole world of racing and customizing your bike. And the parts looked cool, and the frames were lightweight and made out of chromoly. And, there was BMX Action and BMX Plus, and we had these magazines. We had this glimpse into what was going on in the States, again, growing up in Canada, right? I mean, we don't. And then it slowly came to Canada, and all the bike stores started carrying like these premier brands like Redline and Mongoose and Diamondback and Hutch were like $1,000 bikes back then. And then there was like subcomponent companies that were making like replacement parts like Tough Neck, like making new stems and seat posts and clamps and everything. So if you only had a few bucks, maybe you go to a bike store one day, you could only afford a sticker for your number plate, or you might be able to afford a fucking new seat clamp or something. It was just the whole thing, you know? Yeah. And I just love shit like that, especially, you know, just how deep it goes, you know? And when I get into something, I fucking get into it hardcore. Yeah. I mean, I don't just mess around the edge, you know? I mean, I dive in, man. I got to know everything.
I like this one from John J. You know, with your bikes coming out, how about little mini baseball cards to tuck in the wheels?
I love that. That's fun. That's fun. That would be a great little accessory. But you'd also need to have we used to do that with clothespins.
Well, if you're gonna do the BMX, you're gonna have to do the Schwinn with the we call it the sissy pole back then.
Yeah, so
is that is actually the same bike Nostalgia rides today to the
That's
office.
true.
Isn't
That's
that
how he
right,
gets to work.
All right, that's good stuff. All right, let's pivot over because we still have a whole bunch of ground to cover, Shilo. Greatly appreciate you coming on. So, at the Cleveland Gaming Expo, we got to see firsthand in person the upcoming vending machines, cigarette vending machines, as well as we got to see Zoltar live and in person. And wanted to talk to you. I noticed in some of your community there some people a little upset about the cigarette machine, thinking that it was promoting smoking. So I know that's kind of a tougher conversation, but what's your reaction to hearing some people didn't like the idea? Like, I mean, and what was the reason you guys decided to go with cigarette vending machines versus other kinds of vending machines?
Well, again, vending machines now is a line, obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, it's a line.
And and then just going back to Carl's question, I mean, like it or not, smoking was a big part of the era, and it was a big part of being in an arcade. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, secondhand smoking and all this other stuff we've learned is bad for you. But I'm telling you, my dad smoked a pack a day in our house, and I mean, we didn't blink an eye. You know, so to me, it was just part of the era. And I also think there's some beauty in that machine. It's something everybody's going to remember. And honestly, it's a pretty sharp looking vending machine. The one we picked, the National 800, because it's got this great area for art, right? And see, there you go. Eduardo's pulling out the art.
Eduardo's the best Vanna White. He is.
So, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
But my favorite thing about this, Eduardo said it, and you said it too. It's like something you talked about in the office. You're like, it's perfect. You can like put a picture of your family in there. And I was like, no better place for a picture of your family than in a cigarette machine.
I mean, it's kind of funny, right? I mean, you could. I mean, I'd actually probably maybe pop a picture of my doggy in there or something like that. But I mean, the other part of it is art. Okay. And what does that mean? Well, it means a couple things. There's a big area there for art. And we did like these parody face plates, we call them, right? And what's cool is there's lighting in there, which wasn't working at the show. I mean, prototypes, man, you guys know, you know, shit works for one day and then it breaks and we try to fix it. But anyway, we always get it right for production. But anyway, I mean, where I'm going with this is there's two lighting modes in here. And one is like the classic lighting mode that, you know, you would have seen like basically like a fluorescent tube. But we also have a second mode that is a UV black light, right? So Dirty Donnie, who's a great partner of ours, and we're completely aligned with everything we're doing. He's an artist. People probably know that we've done some mini poster drops and stuff like that. And it's all black light art, you know, inspired from like, you know, old black light posters and gig posters and all sorts of stuff. And anyways, he's done a special design for us that we're actually going to print here in the US and include. So, I mean, really it tones down the whole cigarette thing. If you were to put the Dirty Donnie art in there, turn on the black light, and it kind of really gives it an arcade vibe. And it's just kind of a neat thing. Secondary part of it is if you really hate smoking and just can't stand that whole idea or whatever, I challenge anybody to be upset about a company who repurposes old cigarette machines and changes them into art machines, which is Artomat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Artomat, yeah.
So,
So you guys probably met Kev at that show.
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah. So we had the full size version at the show, right? And those guys actually, they did their thing. They had. I'm actually going to include this in an email next week. Is that interesting? They had basically what a lot of people do when they refurbish an arcade machine. They'll have two, right? Mm-hmm. And they take the best parts out of both and they make one. What happened?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Big shout out to Steps Gaming on YouTube. Make sure you guys check out her YouTube channel.
She filmed that video for me. She was my camera person when I was interviewing Eduardo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just wanting to finish saying about.
Keep going.
I thought I got cut off or something. I don't know.
No, you're good.
No, I'm sorry. I'm a piece of shit. I always talk over people. I can't help myself.
Michael B does it all the time. That's just his nature. So he's from Canada.
I know. I do the same. Sorry, Michael B.
Keep going.
Shilo DP.
Shilo DP.
You guys must think I'm crazy, but anyway, I just got to say that. So shit, these guys take all these old tobacco machines, they turn them into these art machines, and then they install them all around the country. There's I think over 600 of them at museums and art galleries and cool shops. And in fact, the one we're pre-selling, which is a pre-order exclusive, all right, is a replica of the Artomat that's in the Pucifer store in Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, everybody I think knows the band Tool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember their videos with the claymation? I thought those were really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, digressing. The singer's name is Maynard, and he started another band called Pucifer, and now there's Pucifer the store. So he's basically the Tool guy, but he makes wine and has this shop that's just fucking really cool. It's a record store, and they do silk screening for t-shirts, and it's got a barber shop in it and all the shit. And that's where that actual machine lives, is in the Pucifer store there in Arizona.
Nice.
But pretty neat.
I'm in Arizona. Maybe I should go check it out.
Yeah.
What I like about
the city. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll Google it. I'll find it. What I remember, Kevin from Artomat, what I liked when I was talking with him privately off camera, and I was asking him about what they do and stuff. What I found interesting is, if you guys think about it, this prevents these things from just ending up in the ocean or another landfill or something of that nature. These are part of our history. It's part of human culture, and to be repurposed and reused, I think is great. You know what I mean? So I really like what his company does with these old cigarette machines. So I thought that was really cool, because it's better to be used than end up in a landfill, in my opinion. So there you go.
The other thing I want to say,
that's cool. Anyway, sorry, Mike. Yeah.
Oh no, that's okay, man. The other thing I want to say is, everybody that's upset at smoking, you have to stop watching Ghostbusters, because the tobacco industry actually funded Ghostbusters. And if you go back and watch that movie, somebody is smoking in every second scene in that movie, because it's advertisement placement in the movie. So if you're going to get mad about a little cigarette machine, fuck Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And the reality is, these replicas don't have cigarettes you can smoke, so that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Although we do include 1/6 scale packs of smokes, an ashtray, a mini lighter, and 2 actual cigarettes that you can't smoke, but your actual fingers can.
Yeah, I actually smoked 2 packs at the Cleveland Gaming Expo of 1/6 scale cigarettes, ladies and gentlemen. It took me all of 3 minutes. They burned
so quickly.
Yeah, so quickly.
And it should come with those little candy cigarettes we used to have back then too.
Yeah.
Remember those little?
Yeah, Carl, that's a really somebody also, I think, on the Replicade or New Wave Toys fan page also suggested those candy cigarettes.
Yeah,
what you're talking about, and put up a picture of the packaging. The packaging is actually really nice. It looks like cigarette packaging. I forgot about those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
absolutely, it can be redone into anything like that again because you could change the artwork.
Yeah.
You can make it into a vending machine or whatever.
So, if you don't mind, Shiloh, what I'd like to do is talk to you real quick about Zoltar, because a lot of your fans would love an update, as well as at the Cleveland Gaming Expo, we found out some new things about that product. And then after that, we'll do our third giveaway, if that's okay.
That sounds really good. I want to say one more thing about the USB machines. Guys, there's 1 week left. Get in the pre-order window for this. I'm also AKA the New Wave shill. All right. So
it's okay to shill your own stuff. It's okay.
New Wave shill. And you consider
put a picture of your family in there.
You could put a picture of your family, your dog, whatever you want.
I'm gonna put the X-ray of when my baby was first done.
And then we're gonna start a whole thing. It's like, send us how you use your USB cigarette machine as a frame, and we'll have everybody send in their different pictures and stuff.
That's actually a really good idea.
There's right. I mean, man, keep it coming, boys. I honestly, but there's 1 week left, and if you want to get in, pre-order. I mean, come on, sign up for our email list if you haven't already. Learn about these things that we offer. Discounts to people who pre-order and a reward for doing it and letting us know how many we have to order and all these other things. It's a win-win, and you can save 20% with code CHARGED. So there you go. And,
what I like is, hey, can you put that code in the ticker, Nostalgia, for people?
Yeah.
Add a ticker for that so people can take their screenshots as they need to. What I really like, and I try to mention this every time I do a product review for your stuff, is I signed up to your email list a long time ago, because that way, guys, if you don't know this, if you sign up for New Wave Toys email list on their website, they email you before the pre-orders go live. They email you when the pre-orders go live. And the pre-orders, the products are always on sale when they go live. And then not only that, they give you a bonus discount code, which you can stack on top of the sale price. So, like, honestly, like, I know sometimes when I do a review, people who miss the pre-orders, they're like, wow, it's $160 now. And I always try to remind them, hey, if you had signed up, you could have paid 120, 125. Yeah, that's how much I pay. It's pretty cool. Like, I think it's worth it. Make sure you sign up.
Yeah, thanks, P-Dubs. And honestly, guys, that's a steal. The pre-order price is a steal. You're getting wholesale price, and we're completely fine with that because we've always been building our B2C community, and I mean that's the way it works, man. It's got to be a quid pro quo, you know what I'm saying, with us and with the community. So, I mean, we're very proud of our B2C business. It's not easy to do. And I mean, we come from long lines of working for companies that we've relied on retail and identified a long time ago that retail is kind of going away, and we have to do this, and that'll help us sustain. Although I will say, we will take retail orders, no problem.
Shiloh, we got a massive super chat from Goofyfoot in the live chat for $50 saying,
holy shit!
I know.
Is that a new record?
No, it's not a new record, but it's a pretty nice super chat, which we greatly appreciate. Was not necessary, Goofyfoot, but we greatly appreciate it. He says here, collectors not rehashing titles. So what I think he's saying is don't re-release titles. I think he likes to collect them. Yeah. Also, he had to reorder the Coke machine because his 80-year-old mom fell in love with it. And he's wanted a 1.6 cigarette machine and never thought it would happen. Thanks for having the balls to do it. So
it's continued in another super chat down below. He didn't.
Also, I think we should mention that it's actually a big deal that Goofyfoot even super chatted us in the first place, because he has a history on our channel
of being
blocked.
And
Mike decided to block him from our channel for some reason. He ended up blocking Goofyfoot.
No, Goofyfoot accused me of blocking him on my channel.
No, you blocked him on every channel that you were associated with, and it took us literally weeks to convince Mike to unblock him and bring him back in. So,
Nostalgia, I don't understand this. I'm never mean to you. I don't know why you're trying to do this.
Yeah, this all sounds like a farce. Jason, $10. Shilo, check this out. He says you're very genuine and an enjoyment to listen to. You should listen to him when we've had a bunch of drinks in Cleveland. He has a passion for what he does, and it shows. We should all be so lucky. Keep up the excellent products and support. And check this out, 1/6 Pizza Hut playset. I got to agree with him, man. Shiloh, can you make Pizza Hut happen for your fans? Can you
Fuck
make
it. I'm
Pizza
just
Hut
going to go on the record here. We're going to do it.
Yeah!
Oh!
Not sure when, but
Yeah.
one of these days. It's funny, this came up twice now. I've had this idea where I'm like, man, I would love to buy a Pizza Hut and make it into an old Pizza Hut, like a real fucking restaurant where you have that experience and fill it full of arcade one-up cocktail tables. Just kidding on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first on the Super Gaming Dudes.
But
Pizza
how
Hut
cool would that be to have a
confirmed.
throwback Pizza Hut restaurant to go to, and you could
Yeah,
sit in the
it would
booth
be.
and get served, and
You know what'd be really cool, honestly, would be if you had a Pizza Hut, which people love setting your little micro consoles up in like their dioramas. What if you had an actual arcade or Pizza Hut? Because there were arcades in the Pizza Hut I grew up, and they could put their machines in there. What about that, Shiloh? Why are you? Is that a smirk? Last time I thought you smirked, I was right about something.
Oh my!
Oh, it's happening! Oh my God! Look at his face! I want like the Castle Grayskull for my mini arcade machine. Did you see what I'm saying, Shiloh? It's happening. It's confirmed. Look at him.
P-Dubs did a whole video looking at your face, watching every single movement, and he's like, "Did you see that? There's a twitch."
There was a smirk. I saw the smirk. Yeah, well, you were on.
Are you like
a
psychoanalyst or some sort of like psychiatrist or something?
Yeah, you were on that other guy's show, the other stream, and the guy asked you about
six
arcades,
scale mafia, I think it was.
Which we'll get to that, guys, towards the end of the show. And he asked you, would you guys ever make like the larger 3/4 scale arcades? And you were like, oh, we wouldn't make any bigger machines. And you like had this smirk on your face. I was like, he's lying. It's happening. And then we found out at Cleveland something's going on, which we'll get to shortly.
Well, I got to go back to the question about Zoltar. All right.
Yes. Zoltar.
You guys got to see it. It's again the first animatronics project, and we're still debugging the tooling. Okay, so we got to get everything working right. But check it out. I mean, to get his hand moving smoothly, to get his eyes going, and his jaw, and his head, and all this stuff, plus all the features of it. And this is actually pretty cool. You brought that up. I think P-Dubs was. We showed a new feature off that we haven't actually told anybody about because we wanted to make sure it works. And this is another fun thing about pre-orders is we'll always have things like, okay, that's another feature, but let's put it in our back pocket and actually make sure we can execute on it and not cause a fucking 6-month delay or something, right? So that feature, I'll just get to it in a second, but overall, Zoltar works just like the huge Zoltar, the full-size Zoltar that costs like $10,000. In fact, it has all the same phrases. It has the same features like lighting, like the I don't know if you guys noticed, but like the lanterns behind Zoltar are actually candle LEDs, so they're flickering, you know. And, the crystal ball is multicolored, so it changes slowly as he's doing a fortune or whatever animatronic. And the other cool thing is obviously we put in our coin op feature here. It's only going to be a quarter. You drop it in and that'll activate a fortune, right? And then it'll spit out a ticket. And the ticket has the actual same fortunes that are in the real Zoltar machine. So there's another way to access a credit is just, as we always do with the arcade machines, we always have an extra button so you don't have to put in the coin if you just don't want to and you just want to play a game or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or pulling out the tweezers and then looking, whatever, it's like, so there's a button on the side you can just press and that'll activate also a credit. Now on the back, and this is what we added, is when he's in a track mode, it runs, I think, at like 2 or 3 minutes and he does an track mode sequence, right? But there's an extra feature that we never told anybody about, and that is actually that we've changed that to a 3-way switch. So, and this is actually an upgrade that you need to buy if you bought a real Zoltar. Is you just did it. There's an infrared sensor in front of that black speaker.
Yeah.
And if you wave your hand in front of it, he will do an attract mode message. Or if you walk by it close enough, he will also do a track mode message. So we added in a little feature that we haven't even announced it to everybody yet. But now you know. I mean, there's a for track mode.
Yeah, I remember in Cleveland, every time I walked past a booth, if Eduardo was by himself, he was just standing there waving at Zoltar over and over. You could tell he was a big fan. A big fan, but that's pretty cool. It's motion activated attract mode. Oh, one thing to note is when we were at Cleveland, I'm sure a lot of people took footage of Zoltar, and there's a little part here where they zoom in on the machine when it was looking at the tickets. The tickets that we're printing here are not the actual tickets. That are
no, I told everybody not to bother printing the fucking tickets because they're sample tickets. They look wacky.
All right, so that right there, that's not what it looks like, or what it's going to look like.
I found it a little strange too because I read the ticket that was coming out and it just said "Eat shit, nostalgia." I thought that was really rude.
I mean, we were saving that. We were hoping that nostalgia was going to be at the show, and we wanted to surprise them with that.
Man, I wish I could have been there to be insulted in person.
Yeah, I missed out this world.
Well, Shilo, I must say, as soon as them pre-orders came up for that was I didn't even have to think about it. I ordered it instantly. I said, this thing is sweet. I think we all have experience either from a carnival or a movie that we like. That was just always a signature thing that just always stood out as pretty unique. So that was a no-brainer, and just to have those extra features on there, that is pretty sweet. But I do want to say, I do want you to do a replica TV set that I can play Duck Hunt on. The old school TV set.
You printed that out from us at the convention. Let's put Detroit Love. Let's put Detroit Love full screen here for everyone. You want to show that off? That's my favorite photo from all the YouTubers.
You see that TV? That's what I want. I want that with Duck Hunt on it, and I can actually play Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Well, the whole living room set there is pretty dope, right? I mean, that actually was one of my favorite things at the show.
Yep, for sure.
That little setup. That's a great.
Yeah, we got Shilo. We got a great question here because it pertains to what we were just talking about from Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Will New Wave Toys sell extra rolls of fortunes for Zoltar in case you run out of the ones it comes with?
Yeah, we're gonna have to because there's. I mean, it's just known. I mean, there's 55 fortunes that are in a real Zoltar, and we're actually still working out exactly how many we can get on a roll. That's why there's a test roll in there right now. So, we probably will. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So I gotta ask the question everybody's thinking. So you're making these 1/6 scale replicas of arcade machines. What in God's name made you wake up one day and you're like, screw it, we're gonna do animatronics?
Well, it's all planning, and again, it's all about these lines, and it's like, well, where can we take our scale, and where can we take it into a line that all sort of jives with the vibe of arcade life, or that the whole thing that was going on, and this definitely fits in, and again, as a line, so people threw out some really solid ideas for the next product in this line. So I feel like it fits together very well. Yeah, I mean. Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz.
Pizza Hut, Showbiz Pizza. What about, did you ever hear of Aladdin's Castle? There were Aladdin's Castle.
Of course.
That would be cool.
I thought it was pretty neat. I actually didn't even know that Nolan Bushnell started Chuck E. Cheese until recently. Did you guys know that?
Say that part again, I'm sorry.
Nolan Bushnell started Chuck E. Cheese, the guy who started Atari.
I did not know that. I know his son started Polycade, but I didn't know that they started Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we started talking all about pizza places for some reason when we were in that. What was it called? Like the Lone Star
Aces Depot, bro.
Aces Depot. So we were even talking about like Little Caesars and Mike Ilitch and everything. We had a big pizza conversation.
Oh well, that's I think because we were talking about Detroit.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought that pizza was bomb.
That was the craziest food I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. Everything was hot. It was delicious. I mean, it was pretty cool.
There were
And it was
wings on the
fun.
table
It
that
was
were
just
there for
fucking
20
fun.
minutes, and then everybody was like, "We're not going to finish them." You bite into them; they tasted like they just came out of the fryer. It was crazy.
Yeah, everything was piping hot. It was a great experience, great food, great
It
time.
was. You know who we have to thank for that was the bartender, right? She's the one she used to work there.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alec. I think it was. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And we
All
also
right.
had pierogies. We had pierogies, which were pretty good.
I missed out on those. I missed out on
Pierogies
those.
were good.
Those got me
I
good.
hogged them all, but they weren't as good as my mom's. I'll send you some at Christmas.
Now, what I found interesting, you working with Characters Unlimited, right, for that Zoltar.
Yeah.
I mean, for them to work with you guys at a 1/6 scale when they're selling their machines at nearly 10 grand a piece, to give those same features and make that thing available at the price set and the scale that you have it's just an awesome thing to see that companies are willing to. They love their products that much that they'd rather see it out there than not to exist.
Yeah, they want to see more of the brand in more homes, you know, and we're definitely not competing with them at a price point, right?
Right.
We're considerably less money.
Yeah.
A lot of 9s deleted. Right. So,
all right, Shilo, we've had a lot of people waiting for our next giveaways. So what I think we'll do is we'll do 2 more giveaways. That'll get us up to 4. Then we have a 5th special surprise, super awesome giveaway, which we'll do towards the end of the show. Looks like we're going to go a little bit long tonight. I know we like to try to do an hour. It's going to be a little bit more, guys, because there's a lot more stuff we want to talk to Shilo about. Hopefully, Shilo, you have time.
Yeah.
We're having a blast here with you.
In the world for you guys.
So the next prize, guys, up is going to be a Ghouls and Ghosts Replicade. You're talking $160 value. Nostalgia, tell them about the value of this giveaway.
The value is just literally unparalleled. There is no better product on the market that offers the level of value that the Ghouls and Ghosts cabinet does from New Wave Toys.
There you go. All right, guys, fastest fingers wins. Get ready to start typing. So let me find your trivia question. Okay, this one's going to be a fun one. Fastest fingers wins for Ghouls and Ghosts. Here it comes. Let me make sure I click on the right one. Here we go. Name the famous designer for Ghouls and Ghosts. Who was the famous game designer behind Ghouls and Ghosts? First one we see on the live chat to our left, your right, is going to win it. Guys, help me keep an eye on that chat in case I miss it.
He's responsible for other really great games like Commando and Puyan.
There it is. There. Shoeshine.
Did Shoeshine get it?
Yep. Shoeshine. Yep.
Shoeshine got it.
Congratulations, Shoeshine.
How about a big shout out in the live chat to Shoeshine? Shoeshine got it.
Get your fucking Shoeshine box, boy.
Yeah, Takuro, here he is right here. Let me put it up.
Takuro Fujiwara.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that. I can't pronounce it. So Shoeshine, do me a favor, my friend. Go ahead and email me to pdubsarcadeloft@gmail.com. Full name, address, all that kinds of stuff, so I can get that to them and get that shipped out to you. Big thanks to Shilo for that giveaway.
Thank you, Shilo.
But Shilo, it only seems fair that if we're giving away a Ghouls and Ghosts, should we give away a Ghosts and Goblins now?
Brilliant idea, P-Dubs.
All right, guys, we're going to give away a Ghosts and Goblins next. By the way, Shilo, a lot of people have been asking about the color on this thing, so while we're getting ready for the giveaway, is this thing purple? Is it blue? Is it a mix of both? What color is this arcade? Because when I look at it, I see purple.
Well, I want to tell a really interesting story about all of this, okay?
Right.
And where it starts with the gentleman that we just talked about is actually still involved with the franchise of Ghosts and Goblins, right? Mm-hmm. And also Capcom Japan is also the producers and everybody that works on Ghosts and Goblins are very particular. And this really kind of actually ties into the question we're about to ask about this. Actually, why don't you ask the question? Now I'm going to finish the story after you ask the question, and we get and we get
Sure.
somebody winning.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's do do that, and then I'll finish the story and I'll answer the question.
All right. Now this is gonna be a fun one. Hold on, I gotta tell my team here what answer to look out for. Here's the answer. I just put it in the private chat.
Oh,
All right, guys. Now here's the question. In order to win a Ghosts and Goblins Replicade, fastest fingers wins. Here it comes. What Japanese video game company distributed Ghouls and Ghosts before Romstar? So it's actually a question about the other title, but it's a great question. What Japanese video game company distributed Ghouls and Ghosts before Romstar?
Here we go.
If you get this right.
Droid Knight X.
Let's put that up on the screen there.
I don't have access to it. So.
Oh, Droid, was it Droid 9X? Oh
Yes.
man, look at the answers coming in. All right, Droid. Let's see. Yeah, Druid Knight X is our winner, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put him up here on the live chat, or hopefully I can. Wow, the live chat's really
It's flying, yeah.
Holy cow, I love all the participation. Do we have his on the screen? There you go. Druid Knight X is the winner. How about big shout out in the live chat to Druid Knight X. You're going to win a Ghosts and Goblins Replicade. And once again, email me. Take your screenshot now. pdubsarcadeloft@gmail.com. Send me your name, address, so I can get that redeemed for you through New Wave Toys. Thanks so much. Michael B., why did you turn on mid-roll ads?
Oh, no.
Did people miss out?
What a terrible time for the ads to roll. Jesus.
How do you even know the ads are rolling? How do you?
Because the live chat's complaining about it.
Oh!
We Scott gets paid. Like, what do you want me to do?
So, real quick. So, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
We never left. They left.
Yeah.
They had
The
to go
viewers
watch
left,
something about
didn't
Old
they?
Okay.
Spice.
Yeah. All right. Let me lay it on you guys. We're very lucky to have Capcom approve a Taito cab. Period.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work and a lot of convincing. And this project would not have happened if we had to use the Romstar cab. We had to use that Taito cab. And this is a very sensitive thing with a lot, especially Japanese companies. They don't want you using artwork from a different time or radiation that wasn't theirs, right? So they adjusted the artwork, gave it back to us, and told us what color to use, probably to make it not as exactly like it was. And of course, with the artwork updates, they removed, there's Taito branding all over this thing. They took it all off, obviously, because Taito has nothing to do with this launch. So I am telling you guys, is it purple? Is it blue? I thought it was blue. And it looks blue to me in all the lighting that I've looked at it. But yeah, I've seen it look very purple too. So I can't answer that question. It's the Pantone and the color that Capcom told us to use. Boom. Period.
Well, despite that, how has the reaction been? These cabinets are just shipping out now. Has everyone received their pre-orders?
I want to say pretty much everybody. There might be a couple stragglers out there still. It's been excellent. I mean, a lot of people are like, we've tied kind of everything together with this cab, right? I mean, the improvements to the CRT lens, the coin op feature. I think what's really special, and you say purple, you say blue, it's like this color, I think is absolutely, it's sexy and it looks great with the yellow coin slots. And not complaining about it at all. And again, just being thankful that, I mean, and it was not easy. Trust me. Okay. It was very difficult to get them to agree for us to do that cab.
Wow.
So, and if you guys know the Romstar cab, it's just, I mean, it's any cab. It was a conversion kit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the marquee looks okay. I mean, I'll give it that, but it's got the ugly, I mean, it's not ugly, but like the Romstar CPO and, and just it's the side, there's no side art at all. So anyway, we wouldn't have done the project unless we could have done that cab.
Yeah. I mean, that's Capcom in a nutshell. Capcom very rarely had dedicated cabs. Everything was conversion kits. Just stick a sticker on the side and you're good to go.
Yeah. The actual the Ghouls and Ghosts, that was actually a factory dynamo cab.
Oh, I remember that one. That is a beautiful piece of art, a beautiful piece of arcade art.
I think so too. It's simple, but it's very, very I mean, I wish the side art was bigger, but I mean, it is what it is. But the control panel overlay, I think, is beautiful. The bezel's beautiful, and the marquee's beautiful. And I hope you guys like the marquees. I think they turned out extra specially gorgeous.
They look great.
Miles gave us a $5 super chat. He says, I believe it's nostalgia berry color.
That's the color.
That's 60.39% accurate.
So real quick here, Shilo, because I know we still have so much to do. Can you explain to us the difference between this CRT filter, the one you used on Missile Command that people didn't like? What did you do to make it better? Like, because, it seemed like majority people didn't like the filter on Missile Command and stuff, but I have this one. This filter is awesome. And can you just walk us through the whole technical thing? And is this what you're going to use moving forward on every machine?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's funny because we call it CRT FX 2.0. It's actually 3.0 because we tried to improve it with Food Fight, but not enough. And where the improvements came from is simply a lack of convex. We had too much bubble on. You know what I mean? There was like too much curve. And not only that, it was accentuated with Missile Command because of the angle of the screen.
Yeah.
And right, do you know what I mean? Like, it was more up in the lights. And at the time, we noticed it. We're like, wow, there's a lot of reflections. And then you go through this whole thing, and it's like, well, arcades are dark, and most people are playing these in the dark. I mean, we kind of justified it with that rationale.
Like, I always make jokes and say this stuff is desk shit because it's the perfect thing to put on your desk at work and stuff like that. Honestly, if someone came into my office and I'm there in the dark playing a little arcade, they're gonna think I'm nuts.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just telling you that the crazy thinking that was sort of like, well, and not everybody hates it, okay? So, a lot of people did, but seriously, there's also a lot of people that it's fine. I'm glad you tried it, and so anyways, it was a matter of going through. We had several different designs of the lens, and we were using like super clear polycarbonate, and we actually put a layer of anti-reflectiveness on it to actually help a little bit too with any type of reflections and stuff like that. And it looks, you said it looks pretty damn good now. We're really happy with it. We're happy with still a little bit of
magnification.
Yeah.
Thank you. And but you need to almost look for it, right? Yeah. So it's very happy with it now, and there's been nothing but like complimentary comments on it.
Yeah, I got to experience it for the first time when we were in Cleveland, and I was just blown away by the upgrade. Like you said, from Missile Command, especially with the angle, and then Food Fight to what you've produced here you've nailed it. This is exactly what you want to do. If you want to do a CRT filter, this is a really good job.
Keeping it more subtle than it was more accentuated before, And hey, lesson learned. That's probably always the best way to go.
Yeah.
Right. A little more subtle rather than more extreme.
No, I think you can go all out. You're either all in or all out, one or the other.
That's your opinion, Michael B. The game.
See, that looks, I don't know why, but that just looks purple to me. It just looks purple.
It looks nostalgia berry to me.
Yeah.
It's definitely nostalgia berry.
Yeah.
Beautiful purple. It still looks fucking great. Whatever.
I love this guy. It's effing quality.
It does. I love this cabinet. I think it's super sexy and fucking dope. And I'm so glad Capcom let us make it.
Oh, what a cool cab.
Oh, here's a great question. Will you sell a screen filter so people could swap out like Missile Command or Food Fight based on the new version? Will you sell that as
man, it's so hard to change it. You basically, I mean, and I know a lot of guys in the community are ultra smart and handy and just basically engineers. I mean, but you pretty much need to be a friggin' engineer to figure out how to change the lens. So unfortunately, the answer there is no. However, people have done it, and they've actually removed it. That they've felt so strongly about it that it is possible to take it out, but you know, you really going to have to work at it. You're going to have to really have a lot of high level of hate towards that thing to dig in there and pull it out.
And New Wave Toys, whoever this is from New Wave Toys, did want to remind us it's still a great playing Replicade. The trackball is fire. Those things are true. Everybody loved everything about the missile.
I don't know who that is in the live chat.
Slightly irritated by the screen. That was it.
I don't know who that is in the live chat, but this account has been shilling New Wave Toys all night.
It's crazy.
It's
who is it?
I think it's Eduardo.
I think it's Eduardo.
Eduardo's shilling?
Yeah,
good.
We're just messing.
All right, he's New Wave shill number 2.
All right, so we definitely want to talk to you about the future. So, and then also, if you don't mind answering questions from the live chat as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
A couple questions. Let's do their questions, and then we'll pivot to the future, do our final giveaway, and cut everybody loose. So, guys, if you have a really good question in the live chat, maybe put like a little asterisk or question. Put question in front of your question.
Yeah,
and give us a good question that you would like us to ask Shilo for you. We would greatly appreciate it.
And I'll preface this. Shilo probably can't tell you what the next cab is, or, you know, if you ask a question, could you do like Robotron? That's not an easy answer.
Let's put the pressure on him. Let's ask those questions. Let's do it. So, like,
we
for
didn't
instance,
even talk about skee ball. God damn it!
Biggie D would like to know: is Donkey Kong possible? You could be detailed or rapid fire. You could say yes, no, maybe so.
My answer to that is it's been a slow chip with a company I have a lot of history with, and never going to say never, but as anybody who knows this whole category is that Nintendo's very protective of their software. So you know, trying.
What was your first arcade game that you ever played?
I love that. I gotta say it was either Death Race or Space Wars.
Death Race, yes.
Yeah, and I remember Death Race, and I love that cabinet. I still love the artwork on it. It's so badass. It looks like it's Pusshead or something. It's really awesome. And that game was so controversial. That was like the Grand Theft Auto of those days. It was like, you're driving around killing these people? It's like,
So, but any plans for pinball? And let's just say real pinball or even virtual.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that, Shilo?
I will say that pinball is a big part of arcade culture and life and everything that we've been talking about. So it's very important and dear to our hearts.
So that means something might be happening from my point of view, but we can't confirm or deny anything.
Join or email us right now and you'll find out first there.
P-Dub's next video, looking at Shiloh's reactions, like, oh look, his eye twitched.
This is a great question from Todd. Can you access Zoltar, the inside of him, to fix him or add interior props? I'm wondering if he means like put decorations inside the little Zoltar glass box, stuff like that.
Yeah. As you guys know, and I know everybody reads their manual from cover to cover. As soon as you get it, we always advise not to open the machines. And in fact, we try to hide every screw. A little bit different on Zoltar because it's a plastic construction cab. There is a way to do it. But again, we don't recommend you opening it up. the back comes off. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Nostalgia, you want to take care of this one right here? We're trying to get through a lot of these for the viewers.
Yeah, we got a $2 super chat from Stringer Films. Thank you. What caused the move from ovens to arcade games?
Ovens
is what he says. I'm
know.
not sure I follow either. I was hoping somebody else did. But
Well,
maybe that's a typo.
Are you talking about my Easy Bake Oven that I cook the dinner in every night? I'm not sure.
No idea. Yeah, it could be.
That's awesome.
Maybe there was a New Wave Ovens company at one point or something like that.
You know,
there
that's
was a
funny.
New Wave oven. Hold
Oh.
on. Yeah, it was called New Wave Oven. It used infrared, like radiant technology, and they had an
That's what he's
infomercial all
talking
through
about.
the 90s.
So Stringer's pulling something out of the old Rolodex there. Thanks so much, Stringer.
You know what, Stringer? That's really funny you say that, because I want to, the company New Wave Toys, right? And we always do things like New Wave vending, or it's kind of like an Acme name almost. So that's kind of part of the whole thing. You know what? I want to do one more bonus question right now before we do the big grand prize one.
Oh, wow.
This is an extra special bonus question.
Okay.
And this is going to be, you guys don't know the answer. Only I know the answer.
So no one can win.
Nobody can win this, okay? But we'll hook you up with, I don't know, let's say a Qbert cab, all right? Or a Qbert or a Missile Command, something like that, something that we have a couple of.
Okay.
New Wave Toys, and we'll try this for only a minute or two. If nobody can get it, we'll default, and you guys can think of a question for this extra prize, okay?
Okay.
But New Wave Toys' name was kind of inspired by what I just said. We sort of work as an Acme, but it was also inspired by an adult erotic movie that came in 1985, and it starred Ginger Lynn.
Oh, Ginger Lynn Allen. Oh, yes, I'm familiar.
Oh my god! Name the movie that Ginger Lynn was in 1985.
I think does Wampy have it?
That inspired the name New Wave Toys.
Wampy, I think, has it.
Wampy put New Wave hookers. Is that
That's
correct?
it. Boom. You won.
Yeah! I told you I was going to ask Shilo about hookers. I got it in.
All right, so ask Wampy, does he want Qbert or Missile Command?
Yeah, just email me, P-Dubs Arcade Loft. Tell me which one you want, Wappy, and
Good
we'll
for
make
you,
sure.
bud. I didn't know if anybody, or you guys, just everybody's gonna be, what the hell is this guy talking about?
I love this guy. This is incredible. All right, good stuff. All right, so
I'm a connoisseur of vintage erotica film.
Yeah, we call them art films.
Yes, I agree. Art films.
So a couple more questions from our audience. I saw in there, I had it up before we did that last spur of the moment giveaway. Twin stick games, are they on the near future? And can we see Robotron, Smash TV, or the viewer had said Crazy Climber? Are any of these possible, or twin stick?
Well, I will tell you, from a technical standpoint, we can do twin stick, no problem. I mean, that's not a problem. It's just two sticks. It's pretty easy. It's funny. We have like 3 different types of joysticks. We got 2 different types of track balls. We got spinners. We got all these little mini things. So not a problem there. The problem is licensing, and getting the licenses. I mean, we all know what the good titles are. Where, anybody in the chat, anybody who's passionate about this stuff. So it's all a matter of that. And damn rights we can do twin stick games.
Yeah, give me some Battlezone, baby.
Yeah. You could put Robotron and Smash TV on the same, but put Smash TV artwork on there. That way I'm happy. And Mike down there gets mad. Mike gets mad.
The game's better. It looks better. It'll sell better.
Smash
you gotta
TV.
Go that direction.
I never played Smash TV, so
no, you can't do both of it because Smash TV is a 2-player game.
That's true. That's true, Michael B, the Game Genie.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say this. If you guys notice what we do is when we have, I wouldn't consider Smash TV a sequel to Robotron in any way. I'm not even sure if it's supposed to be. I mean, they use this same Eugene Jarvis and stuff, but I don't think it was a part 2 in any way, shape, or form. But what we like to do is if there's a really great, first game and then a strong sequel, just like we did with Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, and do both cabs. because they're both fucking awesome. And I mean, to me, I would personally, I would vote for a Robotron over a Smash TV. I mean, optically, I think it's just more meaningful to me.
It's called arcade history, people. You don't just do Smash TV. You pay homage to the greats.
I've got Smash TV playing in the background.
Now, Shilo, your replicas are part of your thing is getting these things to actually be playable. And that's the part of the enjoyment of it. Looking just like it was, but you can also play it. But have you considered things that might not be quite playable, but would be fantastic to have and people would love, say, like a Defender?
Yeah, definitely. And that absolutely, I'll say yes.
Okay. Goofyfoot says, and this is cool too, because with you working with Glenn's retro show, he loves little flight sticks and controllers. Are you guys thinking about making any flight stick games or yoke type arcade games?
Gorf.
Gorf?
Yeah. So am I right that did Gorf use the same handle as Tron, right? I'm pretty sure it did.
I thought it had the same stick as Tron.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely, man. All about like having unique controllers. You know, just having. I mean, it's easy just to have a joystick and a button, right? But it's mastering these things, and we had to do it right out of the box. Like you notice, our first two games were a fucking trackball and a spinner. And you know, it was like, well, we could have easily have done just a joystick, but
literally anything,
the hard way. And that sort of set the whole tone for everything else. It's like, okay, well, we could do anything, and I mean it.
I'd be really interested to see how you could make a mini flight stick that would actually be comfortable to play with. I think that'd be really interesting. I think that's a challenge. I think that's a challenge you guys should be interested in doing. Gorf. Next on your list. I think that's the way to go.
You know what the easiest solution would be?
Gorf. I love anything with voice synthesis, aka Berserk, Frenzy. I love all that old technology. Gorf's one of my favorite games. I love Sinistar. But Gorf, man, a special game. I mean, they fit 4 games into that thing.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, I mean, I love Gorf. How about Mad Planets?
I love Mad Planets. I want Mad Planets to happen.
He asked at the convention. That's why Shilo brought it up. He remembered.
Somebody must have planted it in the old dome here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was me.
It's like, I like Mad Planets too. I like it too.
Yeah, we were out at the restaurant. We were out at the bar. Yeah, we were out at the bar drinking, and I did everything I could. I was like, you already have the mold. You've made Cuber. It's the exact same cabinet mold. It's the same shape, height, width. Everything is the same except the controls and the artwork. Like, make Mad Planets. Do you guys want a Mad Planets? Let us know in the live chat. Give us a 1. Give us a 1 if you want Mad Planets. Give us a 1. Give us a 2 if you don't. But all you 2s we're going to ignore. Just give us a 1 in the live chat if you want Mad Planets to happen.
There seems to be a huge demand here in the chat for Journey, the arcade game. Any chance of Journey?
I would not say no to that. That would definitely have to come with a mini tape recorder, though, prop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to play that crappy sounding audio, right? I mean,
the worst version of Wheel in the Sky you'll ever hear.
Yeah. I got to say, though, I love the artwork on that cabinet.
Beautiful cabinet.
I love it.
There you go.
I also want to say, if you guys are ever out with me or anybody in the chat or anything like that, and you put out a good idea, I basically will forget that you told me that, and that will become my idea.
And you will take all the credit.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Just like Mad Planets. I mean, if it goes over good here in the chat, I mean, that was my idea. If it was shit, it was P-dubs.
So how many... name the lines right now. We got Replicades.
Yep.
What else do we got?
We got BMX Radness coming. We got famous animatronics. We got new wave vending. And we have miscellaneous. Those are the lines right now.
What is that miscellaneous? Is that miscellaneous?
Yeah, that would fall in there, and other little knickknacks and stuff. So
like the Walkman and the Boombox and
Well, actually, yeah. Sorry, the audio stuff is definitely there too, which is working on some new stuff on the boombox sector. I mean, we talk about these things, these elements of arcade culture and arcade life, and I mean, music was a huge part of it.
absolutely.
And music was normally pumping in arcades, even if they had the radio on. There's something going on, and plus all the music of our time and our generation, and the boom boxes. And I'm very proud of the boom boxes and the Replica M90 and stuff like that. And we're working on more for next year. I want to tell everybody one thing that probably no other audio company does, but the soundtrack for testing the audio on the M90s was all like 70s and 80s and 90s music. We never listened to anything modern at all whatsoever to make sure all the classics sounded proper. So
Shilo, you were at the Cleveland Gaming Classic. I don't know if you saw him. Did you get a chance to say hello to Big Sexy Kevin Nash? Diesel, did you get a chance to talk to him while you were there?
We kept missing each other. And, I don't know. It's weird. It was like I was looking for him. I couldn't find him.
Yeah. We went out for drinks with him and had pierogies.
Oh, it was crazy.
There was another wrestler there. What the fuck was his name?
The Shark Boy from TNA.
No, it wasn't Shark Boy. It was something very esoteric in his name, and he's a rather husky guy.
Oh, the Paragon of Virtue, Mike Burry. Yeah, I ran across him too.
Oh, there you go. All right, Shilo, you got all these great lines, but there's also this miscellaneous category. Does it have anything to do with a partnership that was announced at the Cleveland Gaming Convention, Gaming Classic? What was this partnership all about? Because those of us who were there in person couldn't hear a word you guys were saying. Here,
you missed it. You're gonna have to find the video.
What is this all about? What's going on here? Rumors were running rampant. YouTubers like myself stoked the flames of these rumors more because we thought we were going to see you potentially adding another line to your product suite, including much larger arcade machines or pinball machines, etc. What's going on, man? What's the deal? It's time to confess your sins, reveal it all. NDAs be damned. Let's do it. What's happening?
Well, I will say that GRS, I really admire their kind of position in an upgraded home arcade peripheral. You know what I mean? It's better than the bottom of the barrel junk, but it's not quite super commercial grade. Right. I think that's Glenn's whole thing, and it's all at a decent price point, and everything works really good. And so, I mean, if we were to do something bigger, it would only make sense that we partner with a company that's well versed in things that perhaps we haven't done before.
Oh, could you repeat that again? I just want to make sure I caught that right.
All I want to say is in the repeat is that, I mean, 2024 is looking to be a pretty big year. So, I mean,
I love it when he says big year. There you go.
So if I never said it already, sign up to our email list and subscribe.
I got to tell you, one of the people commented in I think it was the Facebook chat earlier about this thing we were doing tonight. And one of the things they mentioned was, I love that you guys have a partnership. New Wave Toys has a partnership with Glenn. I would love to see them do something with his Sinden shotgun. And I was like, are you kidding me? You're telling me you're going to use a Sinden on one of those little 1/6 scale Replicade screens?
Why not? Worth a try.
But Shilo, let me ask you something though. Let's say you decided to move into making larger arcade products. One thing I've noticed about you is you're a big guy. You're 6'7".
Yeah.
And, I don't know if 3/4 scale would be tall enough for you. Would you guys need to make something bigger than that for someone like you to really enjoy it?
Yeah. I don't want to shit on anybody who likes a 3/4 scale size. Okay.
Yeah. Detroit love.
Hey, it's funny because Carl's like the perfect size for those cabs, actually, right? But when you look at a freak of nature like me, who's like towering over this shit, it's funny. Somebody would say like, "Yeah, but you make like the smallest machines," and it's like, "Yeah, but you don't stand up while you're playing them. You're sitting on the, you're sitting, and it's in front of you." So I would say, yeah, I'm not comfortable playing that. And I also think it's kind of it's a mystery how they calculate their scale to me. I mean, it's always thrown me off, and I'm like, how's that even a scale? But I mean, good on them, man. They did a good job with their marketing and what they did and stuff. But I certainly say that I prefer more of a authentic experience if I was to ever play a reproduction or replica arcade machine.
Something more 1-to-1 scale or 9/10 scale or something like that, right?
Yeah, maybe it's shaved down in some parts that you'd never notice.
Yeah.
Or, and made so it's still maneuverable or something like that. But I mean, as far as like the control panel height or something, I mean, that to me, that needs to be for regulation, for a lack of better words. And what would regulation be? Well, that would be the original arcade machine, which nobody's ever going to do better than the originals.
Yeah.
And I'll say that. There's something about the spirit of the original machine.
You have to understand the want from this community. Like, everybody sees your products in the 1/6 scale and the attention to detail, the love and care that you put into your product. And we look at some of the home arcade products we have and we say, Jesus Christ, man, we wish there was the same kind of love and dedication that New Wave Toys put into it. So everybody's pulling. Everybody says, we would love to see you do something a little bit bigger, a little bit more robust. So we're very excited that you're going to be announcing your 7/8 scale BMX bikes coming out soon.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're coming, man. They're actually not 7/8, they're 3/4 scale.
I can't wait.
I was waiting for the punchline. I knew the punchline was going to happen. By the way, Shilo, you and I had a conversation in Cleveland about
What
on your Facebook page. There's a number of folks that have, and I can't seem to find the picture. You have a bunch of arcade machines, the ones you've already released. It's like a blue photo, and it's all the silhouettes of all these arcade machines.
Yeah,
you remember this conversation? Yeah, and we were talking about it, and some people I noticed have lived and died by that photo. Like,
they should.
They should or shouldn't?
They should.
They should. It's so funny.
Listen, the people that live and die by it are smart, because we subtly update it sometimes, and there's hints and secrets in there.
Yeah, so if you want to know what's coming next, just check that out. Now, also too, I've noticed some people in the chat here. They're saying, when you add these new product lines, you added Replicades, you added Animatronics. Now you and Glenn are working on something. Is that going to take away from the 1/6 scale, the OG? Is it going to take away from that? Is it going to?
No fucking way. No way. It's only going to make it better.
Boom. Boom.
You're not going to like totally just, fuck. We're doing something else. No, it'll make it better.
What's so funny, Mike?
So I could see someone like trying to transcribe this show into like a report, like IGN or something tomorrow. When Shilo was asked if this would take away from the 1/6 scale, he said, "No fucking way."
I love Shilo. Shilo's the best.
Hey, man, you take the good with the bad with me, man. It's like you fucking get what you get. I mean.
This is actually a good question here. So, like, for instance, you currently are a pretty small company, about 6 guys running the show. How do you manage to make all this work? Which is what I think Paul is trying to politely ask you here. How do you make all this happen? Animatronics, arcade cabinets, Replicades, vending machines. How do you make all this happen with just 6 people?
I will tell you why. The number one thing with New Wave Toys is the product. Yeah. That's number one. By far it's number one. So that's why a small company that's laser focused on product and everything that involves with product, making sure it's good, making sure the packaging, blah, 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 it's tested, blah, 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 everything, right? That's the number one thing. It isn't other things, okay?
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to get into it, but that would be my answer. And you'd be surprised how much work you can get done when you kind of strip away a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Red tape and bureaucracy and all this other fucking garbage, right? I mean, you can, when you got a team and everybody's laser focused on what their, what their job is and what their things are to make shit go. I mean, you don't need a ton of people. That said, we need more people. I mean, everybody's wearing a lot of hats, and as the company grows, we'll add more people. And it's like, yeah, we got 6 guys here in the States, and we also have an office in Hong Kong. We have an office in China. I mean, there's more than just what's here. What I'm saying. There's other people that help keep everything going.
Well, if you're looking for more people, Nostalgia can be bought rather cheaply too.
It doesn't cost a lot.
Oh, I know.
So there's plenty of when people set up the 1/6 dioramas in their homes.
Yeah,
they usually bust out like, here's the Back to the Future. I've seen so many amazing photos from your customers where they have like Marty McFly and Doc action figures, GI Joes. I've even seen Barbie and Ken. Like I've seen people like. Have you guys ever thought about doing figures? And why not do a 1/6 scale Shilo? It'll still be 6 feet 2 inches tall, right?
6'7". 6'7".
It's great. Again, a great question. And I would say the answer is that there's so many people making 1/6 scale figures.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies, and Hot Toys is obviously the premier, but Sideshow is cranking out a lot, and then there's a couple other companies. 3-0.
Yeah, but nobody's doing like maybe people from the arcade community, like people who we would imagine meeting in an arcade. Like maybe
I do know what you mean.
like Warren Davis or or
that old weird guy who always smelled and tried to take the kids out behind
or at like a little mini Warren Davis to put next to a certain cabinet you've made, or make a mini Billy Mitchell, I mean, like stuff like that. Like I'm sure these guys would love to get their faces on some plastic.
Yeah, I think it's a really great idea that I might.
Oh my God, I think I've hit the nail on the head a lot here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you. Let me tell you about this great YouTuber named Michael B. the Game Genie that would make a fantastic action figure for you, gamer.
I agree.
He's not going to be he's just be holding 2 burgers. Ain't that right, Mike? Two Johnny...
Two burgers. I'm going to have a beer and I'm going to be running after a train.
There you go.
Train.
All right, we got to do.
Eduardo shot a video of the train. Man, was that thing ever close, huh?
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Shiloh kept coming up to me saying, "Hey, kid, do you want to see a dead body?"
It was like Stand By Me. It was so good.
I don't know why you wouldn't go with me, man. It was weird. I'm like, all right, because he doesn't want to do it. Nostalgia is here. He would come with me to see the dead body. I know he would.
I would. I'd encourage that behavior.
So maybe you could, you could work with somebody like Hot Toys on a really cool partnership, like do like a Silver Spoons playset where they could do the toys and you could do the arcades.
I love it. You know what though? We're totally well versed to do any action figure or anything like that. I've done all that stuff in my past career. Yeah. So, I mean, we're very well versed with product development as our strength. And, so yeah, I don't really need to, we don't really need to team with Hot Toys. I mean, it's not a bad idea, obviously, but it's like, well, if we could do something ourselves, we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So, guys, what I'd like to do here, Shiloh, because we're approaching 2 hours, is I'd like us to do the final. I'd like us to do the final giveaway, and then give you time for any final thoughts, announcements, promises that you either intend to keep or not. You know, who cares? It's all for show. You know, I mean, it's a show. I'm just messing with you, man. But we're gonna do the final giveaway. Your final thoughts. We'll thank everybody, and we'll be putting a pin in it. So, because this is, in my opinion, I think this is super awesome. I'd like you to tell the audience what this is and what this giveaway is going to be. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. What are we doing here, Shilo?
Okay, Food Fight turned out to be a cab that not a lot of people remember, but everybody likes, if that makes any sense. And we did it, in fact, because I actually do remember Food Fight, and it's a very underrated kind of diamond in the rough type arcade machine. And the question is really great for this trivia here. And when we did this launch, we were lucky enough to work with Jonathan Hurd, who was the original developer. This is his concept for this game, and he helped us. And it's just great when we can get with the original developer. And I mean, he has long since gone away from video games and is in investment banking and all this stuff. And you could just tell the guy just enjoyed it so much to get back. And we did this project, and he's very proud of it, and so are we. And the guy, like Jonathan, helped game test. I mean, he took the time out of his life to help us game test the thing, because it has an analog joystick, right, which is really hard to dial in, especially in 1/6 scale. And but we did it. And again, it's just the ability to sleep at night and is coming from people beyond us that know even more about these games. You can always learn more, and making sure you get it right. And that's just great when we can do that. And so Jonathan was kind enough to join us on our launch day. He signed some cabs for us. I got one sitting in my office signed by Jonathan Hurd. And that's the prize for this next question. It's the Super Dudes fucking bonus round question.
All right, guys. So what do you think about that? They are going to be giving out here an autographed Food Fight cabinet by the man himself, Jonathan Hurd. I mean, that's pretty awesome here. All right, let me tell everyone. Let's get the live chat on the screen. Fastest fingers wins. I can't do a random comment picker when I do this streaming software, guys. Otherwise, I would do a random comment picker. So just a heads up there. That's why we got to do it.
Yeah, so that only works with StreamYard, I think.
Yeah,
and we use a program called Restream.
And we're doing Restream. So Restream it doesn't have a comment picker tool like StreamYard does. So
and there's like 320 people here. Do you really want to do names in the chat and then hear me click, click, clack away, putting everybody's names in the wheels? I don't think so.
As long as you type on your typewriter.
Yeah.
Listen, you can hear it. Ready, Shilo?
Yes. There it is.
All right. So we're going to make it.
This just in. This just in on the newswire.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to make you work for it. Again, fastest fingers wins. Whoever can type in the answer to this question. Okay, GCC, which is General Computer Corp. They developed Food Fight for Atari in 1983. What arcade game did they develop for Midway in 1982?
Oh, we got our winner right there.
Yeah.
Mr. T-Bone.
Wow. Fast with the fingers. Holy shit. Mr. T-Bones is our winner of it was Miss Pac-Man, of our autographed Food Fight cabinet. Wow, what an incredible prize. Thanks so much, Shilo.
It's weird because that company is actually owned by At Games now, right?
I don't think so.
GCC. I just thought they bought the license from them. I didn't think they.
Well, maybe it's just the license. Okay, so the funny thing is, it wasn't actually Miss Pac-Man, because Miss Pac-Man was originally basically faster, harder Pac-Man, and then they morphed and developed it into a completely different game, which is Miss Pac-Man.
Is that right?
Yeah, they also did a version of Missile Command as well.
Yeah, Super Missile Command. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what they also did was the hardware for the Atari 7800.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they developed the chip.
Now, once again, guys, any of the winners from the giveaways, make sure you email me your name and address to pdubsarcadeloft@gmail.com. It's on the ticker, but down below. Take your screenshots now. That way I can get it over to New Wave Toys, and they will ship you your prizes directly from them. Don't forget to do that. Shilo, it sounds to me like your company's growing. Sounds to me like
Your products might be
Replicade.
growing.
Your products are growing.
I wish
Your
my penis would grow, but
Oh my
Nostalgia
God.
does too.
Your product lines are growing. Do you feel? Do you? How?
I went through nostalgia, man.
That's
Fucking
okay, man.
nostalgia, bro. Oh.
I gotcha.
What do you? What can you tell us about, like, your final thoughts on where the company started, where you're at today, what's going to happen next year, and why should people consider purchasing your products? Just throw it all in there. What is your elevator pitch, and all that kinds of stuff.
All right. I want to start by saying that the company, I quit my job. What's the date today?
October 6th,
6th.
2023.
Okay. So exactly 7 years and 6 days ago, I incorporated New Wave Toys and quit my long-term job and decided to do this. And it's been what a wild, crazy ride, with full of ebbs and flows, as you guys can imagine, trying to start your own thing. And I got to say, I couldn't have done it without a few people that helped along the way. I mean, there's just no question about that. The boys, I mean, Peter, Steve, my partners, other people who came in, have since gone, helping out, getting us building. And the last couple of years have been absolutely phenomenal. And we're set to have our best year ever this year.
Wow.
And very high expectations and goals for all the products and new lines and new stuff and big things that are coming next year that I can't say enough about. And I just think I'm very proud, and I'm very proud of just being able to stand behind the products. And although it was hard, and I'll tell you guys, I love telling like little tidbits. It's more impactful, I think. But
Yeah.
it's our first game, Centipede. Boy, when you're a new company and you're trying to train all sorts of factories, you guys got to understand, it's like not only a assembly factory. There's a factory that specializes making wood cabinets, right? There's another factory that specializes in silk screening for bezels and marquees and all these types of things, and LED lighting and consistency, and I mean, just a quadrillion different things, right? It's like a primary factory is usually not going to, they'll do plastic injection, but they're usually not going to do metal, right? So that's a whole nother vendor, and it was bringing everything together, and it was training everybody, and we did the Kickstarter, and people were very supportive, and we're like, just take your time, make sure you get it right. And it was like, boy, did we ever try to get it right? But then we launched it, and we found we had a bug, and man, did it fucking suck. And the bug was an oversight, and it's like you might catch 1,000 things, and then one thing gets by, and it fucks you over. And this happened because we failed to realize that the trackball was drawing extra energy. The trackball is its own fucking IC, right? So that's going to drain energy when the unit's off from the internal battery. So when you go to put it back on after it's been sitting for several hours, it's slowly going to drain out. And it was like oversight. I mean, how? I don't know. Too close to the product. I mean, it just happened, right? It's like when we were testing, we would have them plugged in, and we're just trying to play and make sure everything worked good and saving highest scores and trying to get all these features in there. And then it launched, and it was the worst freaking thing ever to learn that there was not only a bug, but a significant bug that needed to be addressed. And I'll tell you, we're dead. Already gone on to Tempest and Street Fighter and working on a whole bunch of other things, Dragon's Lair. Did it ever suck to have to go back and try to find a solution to fix that bug? But fucking did it. And
Yes, you did. I remember
and you know
that.
why? Because it goes a long way. And I think that's why we still have customers that we've had since day one.
Mm-hmm. I remember that fix.
That's awesome.
And you made the process super simple. We contacted you. You provided us a new part that you mailed to us with a very clear set of instructions. You plug it all together. I think you needed your PC, if I recall correctly, for a firmware update. And then you just did, like, it was a 5-minute job. And you did it. Like, that says a lot. There's a lot of bigger companies who would do less. So you should be really proud of what you did.
And have done less.
You know, when I hear this story, what I envisioned in my head is Shilo. You've seen the movie GoldenEye with Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. I see you as Boris when, you know, the bug was discovered and you destroyed it. I see you jumping out of your desk going, "I am invincible," like Boris did in GoldenEye. Like I can see that kind of reaction.
I will tell you, I was pretty freaking happy when we figured out the fix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but to Nostalgia's point, Nostalgia, you remember if you did the update, I mean, you had to unplug the trackball port from the board. Yeah. Right. And then you had to plug a special cable that we sent out to everybody from your PC into that trackball connector. And that's how you reflash the trackball.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see a company stand behind their products if there's an issue with the emulation and stuff and getting stuff fixed. And
we'll always fix it. We're not perfect. And it's just, I'm, you know, just trying to paint a picture of the ebbs and flows, right? I mean, you guys can imagine it. It's just like, I mean, I could probably put together 10 episodes of the Toys That Made Us, you know, series just on different projects and stuff that would, you know, be interesting and entertaining. But I'm just super proud. It's been 7 years. We got a ton of momentum, a great year. And I mean, again, just sign up for our email list and tune in and get ready because it's going to be a big year.
It's going to be the biggest year.
It's going to be a big year.
You're really pushing that email list, man. Like, jeez.
And you know what? I'm telling you, the email list is gold. That's what everybody checks is their email, you know. I think more than social media for sure.
Except for Cornercade, you're going to have to set him up with registered mail. But outside of that, everybody else get emails.
Well, no problem. Registered mail's good too.
Cornercade's got a beeper. You'll have to page him. That's how far behind in the times he is.
I'm right there with you, Cornercade. I wish we could just get rid of all technology, honestly.
What are we looking at?
What
are we looking at here?
Super chat, so we just because it goes off the screen and we can never.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carl. Take care of these real quick.
So Zero Cool did a super chat. He said 720 possible. That was so far back, I'm not sure what he was referencing. Anybody recall?
720, the arcade game. Yeah.
You gonna make 720, Shilo?
Oh, 720 is one of my faves.
Okay.
And then
man.
So Stringer Films had two. How about Duramo Blaster, Sinistar, and what about Rockefeller Explosion Set?
I don't know what Rockefeller Explosion Set is. Is that an arcade machine?
I've never heard of it.
Come on, you guys are the experts. Tell me what it is. I don't know what it is.
We got to go to the expert. Michael B. the Game Genie.
Yes, Michael B. the Game Genie.
Rockefeller.
I've never heard of
it. Looks like it's an animatronic set.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, it will be researched for that line of products.
I will check it out, and if it's good, I will take full credit for it. Thank you.
And then Jason, Little Alien, $10 super chat says, "Continued success in the future, Shilo. Very much appreciate your visit and engagement with the community. We all know 2024 will be the biggest year yet."
God bless you. Thank you.
Let's try and give Joel this on our way out here. When can we expect the next Replicade announcement? How soon?
Yeah, there's going to be. I don't know if you guys could tell, but we've been pretty on fire this year. I mean, it's one thing after another. It's just been nonstop, and it's going to be more of that. So I will say there's going to be a Replicade announcement. There's definitely going to be one, maybe even two by the end of the year.
Oh,
by the end of the year.
That's only like 2.5 months. Yeah,
I know, right? Isn't it crazy how this year has blown by? And I mean, it's holiday season. I'm going back to Canada for Christmas as long as they don't pull any fucking bullshit. restrictions.
They might. They might.
I got to see
Very cool.
I got to see my parents. I haven't been back in 3 years now, and boy, I mean that's coming up just like that, right?
Yeah.
Christmas is right around the corner. It's crazy.
I should get my kids gifts.
Yeah, you might want to start thinking about that and less about
Yeah,
spending.
dear God.
Michael be the genie.
Oh no.
All right, we've kept you for 2 hours, Shilo. We greatly appreciate you coming on. And you know,
5 more minutes. That's the old wrestling chant.
And
5 more minutes.
I gotta say, man, what an incredible guest. Like, we've met you personally in Cleveland. We had such a good time, and I talked to you in Cleveland. I was like, Shilo, you have to come on the show. And thanks so much for making the time for us, man. And I really enjoyed having you here, and I'm sure the rest of the dudes feel the same as well.
I think we should have him every week. Shilo, do you want to be part of the team? We're looking to replace Nostalgia.
The 5th dude or the 4th dude, guys? Should we fire Nostalgia?
There's no replacing Nostalgia.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can take my place, and I get on my Friday nights back. It'd be wonderful.
I gotta say thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed meeting you guys in person, and I from the bottom of my heart and the companies, we really appreciate all the work and time you guys put into this. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again, because time is everything, and you take the time to do this and keep this community going. And I personally tip the hat to you guys. I mean,
thank you.
Really appreciate you dudes. And thanks for having me on, boys. And next time, Nostalgia, you better show up to the next convention we're going to.
I'll do my best.
What is the next show you're going to? A couple people asked that during this broadcast.
Boy, that's a great question. And we are probably going to pass on Portland this year just because we just did Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I think that might be it for the year. And then looking at next year, I mean, obviously we got to do the Texas Pinball show. I mean, that's going to be the main one.
Some people are going to be there.
We're going to be there. Holy crap.
Some big names are going to be there. So it's going to be a big time out in Big Texas.
I don't know what Texas is going to do when the Super Game Room dudes get there. Holy cow.
Big state. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say that's probably it for the rest of the year unless we change our mind and decide to go to Portland, but I don't think so at this time.
You should come
to
man,
was it nice to go to Cleveland and hang out and have some fun. I told my boys, I was like, fuck, I haven't had fun in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you get out of your routine and you get away from stuff and you get somewhere, and man, it was fun. So I'm really glad we did it. And it was, again, really awesome meeting all you dudes.
You should come to Canada. There's lots of conventions here.
That one in Toronto actually looks pretty.
Fan Expo Canada, it's incredible.
Nostalgia, at some point, you're going to have to leave the country. Okay, you're just going to have to.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
Have to do it.
I'm saying I think New Wave Toys would fit in wonderfully at Fan Expo Canada. There's a massive culture.
Yeah.
Last year they did actually a big arcade setup where they had a whole bunch of like classic arcade machines, some pinball machines. It's a good opportunity.
No, I know. I agree. I think it looks very good.
Do you have shares in this
show out there in Newfoundland? What's it called there, Mike?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The big show at Newfoundland. What's the big expo out there in Newfoundland?
We don't have one. We have nothing here. We're getting our first pizza very soon.
Yeah. It's usually like they usually have a chili cook-off at the public library, and that's about it there.
Yeah, no show in Newfoundland. I'll come to Toronto to see you guys.
All right. I don't want to steal.
Actually, that would be cool. Yeah.
I don't want to steal Detroit Love's thunder, but all I want to say, guys, is make sure you give us a thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Check out our solo channels if you're new to this broadcast. I noticed we had a ton of new viewers tonight. Go check out all of our solo channels as well and subscribe there.
Don't forget Shilo DP, Arcade Junkie, new channel. I need subs, yo.
Sub for sub, yo.
Make sure you subscribe to Shilo DP, the Arcade Junkie. And Carl, whenever you're ready, send them on their way.
All right, Shilo. Well, we appreciate you, man. We enjoyed every moment in Cleveland. I know it's probably be easier to say what your best arcade is than to say what your favorite dude is here, but I know the secret. We appreciate you guys. We love you. And until next time, we'll see you on the web.
They're making big cabs.